Hey, this is Glendon with another episode of the American Hustler Podcast. If you haven't picked it up, get your copy of the audio book, The Hustler's Mindset, Pimping Your Mind for Success. You can get it at www.storageauctionshogun.com. This is the fourth episode, and we're going to jump into something pretty important. I'm going to ask you a question that you should have asked yourself a long time ago. What kind of hustler are you? I know you're going, whoa, Glendon, I'm a hustler that gets it. If it's about money, I'm about it. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to try to make as much money as I can. And I'm going to tell you, you're a jackass. That type of thinking is unfocused, has no goals attached to it, and will just leave you in a situation where you'll make some money and you'll essentially chase your tail for a long time. Let me give you the classifications of hustlers. There's the first hustler. We're going to call him jackass. Does whatever he can to get some money. There's no goals, there's no rhyme, no reason. Hard worker. On occasion will luck up on a good lick, but perpetually is always grasping at straws, always broke, always searching for another answer, a better way. Just always trying to get that one thing that they're missing that keeps them broke. Because understand, when you use the word hustling, there's a negative connotation because people think that someone's trying to get over them. For me, hustling is the exploiting opportunity. And if you have opportunity in your life and you're not exploiting it, you're a dumbass. So you got that first classification of the hustler, the jackass. We're going to move up to middle management. They're a little bit better than the jackass. They've got some things going on. They usually have a job and they hustle on the side because that job is that security. It's like no matter what goes down, we have money coming into the house and we're going to hustle on the side. So that's middle management because they're in the middle. They're not completely full-time hustling. They're not completely ass out. Good lick. The only thing that separates middle management from jackass is that they have a job because they're doing a lot of the same dumb shit. Always looking for an answer. Then we move up to the ninja. Now the ninja, this is a different animal. Because see, either you are a jackass or middle manager or a ninja. Now the ninja doesn't have a job. The ninja probably hasn't had a job in a long time, if ever. They have learned the art of hustling. They have learned that if they hustle 7 days a week, they're going to make money 7 days a week. They've gone through a level of education that they can really spot money in the street. And they also have learned something that the jackass and middle management has not. They've learned how to manage and save money. These are the guys, and some of these people in this group, unfortunately, are drug dealers. I'm not big on drugs, but these are the guys that will have $100,000 in the bedroom or $200,000 in the bedroom. They're making, $10,000 a week. They've learned to save and stack cash. Many people cannot do that. So the ninja is someone that you could take and put in virtually any city of a decent size, and within a matter of weeks or a few months, they're earning a robust living because they have a lot of skill sets. They have a lot of experience. They are ninjas. You think you see them, but you don't because they're over there doing some stuff. And that is like a high level of hustling. That's a very, very high level of hustling. This is a person that doesn't worry about the economy. This is a person that doesn't worry about who's in office because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Now, we're going to go up to Super Saiyan Supreme Hustler. That is the hustler that has learned how to hustle and also have a business that's part of the matrix. Because see, this is the thing with hustling without a plan. If you hustle without a plan and you hustle without goals and you hustle without metrics, you're always hustling. You're always on that treadmill. You can't take a vacation. You can't really chill out too much because, if you're a ninja, you can kind of chill out because you've got reserve. You've got cash in the bank or under the mattress. But when you get to the Super Saiyan level Supreme, it's a different thing because you're hustling on one level, but on another level, you have a mainstream business that provides you reoccurring revenue. See, that's the ultimate deal. That's where I'm at. Or I should say that's where I'm going to be back because I've developed a reoccurring revenue model when I was selling a lot of stuff on Craigslist. For a Hustler University towards the end, I'm going to do a lot of Craigslist stuff because, it's time for me to get back out there. And it's time, I miss it. It's just I was trying to get these books done. So I've come up with a better process on the books. I've come up with a whole new thing, the Hustler Mindset Audio Book Club. I have a way to give you information way faster than I used to. So I can get back out there and get my hustle bones a-clanging. So this is the deal. Now, when you hit Super Saiyan Hustler Supreme, you have a business that provides money to you when you are asleep. That's the ultimate level of hustling. There's different, volumes. There's a guy that is doing 150,000 a year. There's a guy that's doing 150 million a year. But the principles are the same. You've got this thing that makes you money and you're not pushing it. You don't have your finger always on it. You can let go of the steering wheel and the car stays in the middle of the road. That's the supreme level of hustling. And then you have this other thing that you're doing because essentially you are the VP CEO of your hustling Inc. You cannot do what I call one-off hustles. Or, a bunch of televisions fell off a truck, or, your boys got the hookup, or those are small time micro hustles. Can often land you in jail, and you really don't benefit in the long term. You benefit in the short term, but you don't benefit in the long term. And sometimes this short term benefit can impact your long term availability of freedom in the world. I've had many people that have come to me with what I call these short-term, high-risk, short reward, high risk. The risk is like, King Kong tall, and the reward is like a midget. It's just not a real good way to go. It's just not. So there you are. Jackass, middle management, ninja, and the Super Saiyan Hustler Supreme. Now, how do you go from jackass middle management? Number one, you have to make a commitment to hustling. You have to make a commitment. You've heard me give this speech before. I'm going to say it again. Commitment is a jealous, not commitment, but success is a jealous bitch that wants full 100% commitment and will not give you her best without that commitment. So essentially, jackass and middle management people are just kind of jacking off. They've never summoned the courage to make a commitment because guess what? Things may go funky. The wheels may come off the bus. Some bad stuff could happen because you have delayed your hustling education. I'm going to share a little story with you. I had a situation with a company. This company had placed some stuff on my credit report. And I was fighting with them, going back and forth, had documentation. And at one point, it became very, very frustrating. Then I turned on my Super Saiyan hustler mindset. And I was like, okay, let's really, because see, this is the thing. When you get this this experience, it matriculates into other areas of your life. And I say, okay, they're not paying attention to me because I am not giving them enough reason to pay attention to me. So what I did is I wrote 3 letters. 1 letter, certified mail to the CEO of the credit bureau. Another letter to the CEO of the company, certified letter. And another letter to the Attorney General of Georgia. Well, guess what? I could only written one, and that was to the Attorney General of Georgia, because when the Attorney General got that letter, all of a sudden, people that couldn't hear me, their ears were wide open. They were kissing my ass. Mr. Cameron, we just heard from the Attorney General, and we want to really look into you. Long story short, my problem was solved in 12 hours. So what I'm telling you is, when you do this development of yourself and really pushing yourself, you expand your mind and you stop looking at problems from a micro level. That's what jackass and mid-management hustlers do. And they go, well, I need some extra money. Well, I'm going to do a little hustling. And they say dumb shit like this. Well, if I can make only $500 a month, I'd be happy with that. Do not put a ceiling on your hustle. I see it on YouTube. I see it on Facebook. I see it in many different areas where people are putting ceilings and limits on their hustle, which is insane. Because what you speak out into the world usually will come back to you in the form of action, benefits, or whatever. So if you don't ever say something like that. Say, if you want to make $500 a month, it's like, well, my goal this month is $1,500. And if you make that $1,500, guess what you do next month? You raise it to $1,700. You keep pushing. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. There is no way around it. If you're not growing, you're dying. So by extending that hustler mindset, really expanding your mind and stop looking at problems from a micro level, because the micro level is, I'm here, and micro level is about constriction, and it's just like, I'm here, and you feel vulnerable, so you don't do the thing that you need to do to not be vulnerable, which is to expand, grow, and elevate your thinking. You stay micro. Another example of that is picking versus storage auctions. Picking is cleaner. And then there are some people that say, now, I used to be a picker. And there, in my opinion, is a very short ceiling to the money you can make picking when you factor in the true time cost. Because that's another thing about being a hustler. At some point, you have to calculate what your hour is worth. Currently, an hour of my time is $300. That's what's quantified. That's what's on the website. You have to figure out what an hour of your time is. So when you develop as you leave jackass, as you leave mid-management, you're going to have to make some determinations, because you hear people is like, well, that's risky. Waking up is risky. Getting married is risky. Going to your mother-in-law's house when your wife is mad at you is risky. There's a lot of risk in life. Get over it. Stop being a scared little bitch. So to really help you make that transition, you have to sit down and figure out what is your true level of motivation for your hustling. Why are you hustling? You can't find a job. You have limited education. You have to figure out what are your weaknesses, deficiencies, and blind spots, and start correcting that, because as long as that stuff's there, your hustling ceiling is going to stay low. If you have a knowledge gap, you have a huge problem. If you don't learn very quickly, you have a huge problem. And I say these things not as dyed-in-the-wool facts. I'm just saying that is where you are now, because you can elevate your thinking. You can learn to learn faster. You can learn to memorize. Put your mind to it. This stuff is possible. Now, another thing with hustling and developing what type of hustler you are, you really have to kind of step back from what you're doing. It's almost like you have to leave your body and look at what you're doing. Really get a sense of what you're doing and why you're doing, because one of the main reasons that a lot of people do not make the money that they want to make is because they spend 60% of their time, 70% of their time, or 80% of their time on activities that don't produce income. There are some people who spend 90% of their time on activities that do not produce income. I know it sounds like, but hey, I'm working hard. If you can see the words that were coming out of my mouth, I didn't say that they were not working hard. I said they're spending an inordinate amount of time on activities that do not produce income. It's epidemic on YouTube. You have people making 4-hour videos, 3-hour videos, and they're like, yeah, we're learning, we're doing this. I have been on YouTube since 2009, and I actually do something that a lot of YouTubers don't. There's a Real SEO. Check it out. It's a great video site. And I study a lot of metrics. I design my videos for a certain purpose. If I wanted more views or higher views, I would cut my videos down to 3 minutes and just be about bullshit, boobs, anything that's just real spicy. And I would get a lot more views. But why does my YouTube channel exist? It exists for the benefit of Conundrum Publishing and Conundrum Media. That's why it exists. So what goes on in the YouTube world and videos, because understand, a lot of views without engagement and context will not yield a lot of sales. But a video that has very few views, but they're very targeted views, and you're speaking directly to your targeted audience, you can make killer sales and not kill yourself. So if because I see this, because the thing is, everybody wants to be a star these days. Everyone wants to be a celebrity. Everyone wants a little fame, because once you get on the tube and you see there, people are like, yay, you made a video, yay. And, and you get that adulation, and there are people leaving nice comments, and it becomes addictive. I'm going to tell you something. And for a long time, YouTubers, they know this. A lot of people didn't answer all the comments. Just one day, I just started doing it. Next thing you know, everybody was doing it. Love being a leader. Woof. That's that lead dog. Wait a minute, that wasn't right. Woof. There we go. That's the lead dog bark. But essentially, as you let's just take some dynamite and put them on your training wheels and blow those fuckers off. Because for you to be a true hustler, you have to elevate your game. Because I see people, like I said, just doing all of this work and activity on things that do not produce income. I've said that several times in that same tone for a reason. Because as a hustler, if you sit down, and I want you to do this week. I want you to sit down before you go out picking or storage auctions or doing whatever you do to hustle. Say, I want to make X amount of dollars this week. I'm going to give you a number. Say $500. Say, I want to make $500 net profit. Put that on a sheet of paper somewhere. Write it down, then write out it doesn't have to be overly complicated plan. Just write out the things you're going to do to get to that $500. Then immediately get started. Pop off of Facebook. Pop off of YouTube. Do whatever you need to do to pull those distractions out your life. And just work diligently on making that $500. And many of you who take my advice, and there's some of you who will probably yield that $500 much quicker than a week, because you are focused. The difference between focus and diffusion, the sun, all that sunlight we have, that's diffusion. It lights up several thousand, hundreds of thousands of square miles. It lights it up. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's powerful, and it makes us warm. Okay? Focus is a laser, and a laser will cut diamonds. But what is a laser? It's light. It's focused light. And that's what you want to have. You want to feast that focus that that diffusion, that all your energy is just really pushing forward in a strong direction with a lot of power, a lot of velocity, and you will see your life shift in ways that you can't imagine. Because to make the transition from jackass to mid-management, at least to ninja, because you get to ninja level, you don't have to worry about a job. You don't have to worry about money, because with the ninja level, you develop a feel for money. You develop a feel for money. I was walking one day and I saw this dresser on the side of the road. And I looked at it and I was getting ready to pass it by, but as I walked by, my hustler bones started going clank, clank, clank. I was like, what? And I looked at it and it was a little distressed, and I was like, okay. And it looked kind of familiar, and I was like, I pulled open the drawer, but the name thing wasn't there anymore. It was like worn away or something. I don't know why. I said, yeah, and I went to the back and I saw some numbers and I saw it, Ethan Allen. I was like, aha. Ethan Allen is not super high end, but they're close. And I looked at it again and I realized that was the finish. Someone that put this dresser out there. And I looked at it and it's like, I don't even have an SUV anymore. And it's like, okay, I'm going to get my car and I'm coming back and getting this. So I got some blankets. I'm telling you, this was just totally cracked up. Had blankets and I barely got it in the trunk. I had to tie it and use rope and stuff to tie it down. I mean, it just looked real funny. But I got it back to my place intact, took nice pictures of it, and I sold that for $450. And a lot of people walked by that thing without paying attention. When you get hustle bones, you can smell money. You're just like, you may not know what it is, but you've got a sense. And that's what happens when you hit that ninja level. You get phases and flashes of it at jackass level and mid-management, but because, jackass is absolutely the worst type of hustler to be. You are unfocused, you're everywhere, and you're poor. You hustling every day. I be hustling because your ass has no choice. You got to hustle for $30. You have to hustle for $90 because if you don't hustle, you don't eat. But you haven't really put together a plan. Mid-management, you got that job. I'm not going to hate on jobs. Jobs, you do what you need to do for your life. That's your decision. But if you can hit that ninja level and have a job, you may be able to make more income. And I'm not going to say on the side. I actually hate that term because on the side is, to me, a diminishing term. I'm going to say you're going to be able to stack more money in your cash vector to the point that your alternative income could be higher than your job income. That is when you reach the ninja level. You could be making 50, 60, 70,000, but because your hustle bones are clanking, you're making 60, 70, 80, 100,000 alternative income from your hustling business by putting in something that gives you reoccurring revenue. That's the ninja level. And it's just a lot of problems just start to disappear from your life. But it is what you need to do to have a better life, because this is the year 2013. A lot of things are going on. There's a lot of people who are hurting. They don't realize that we have recently gone through this big technology shift that is going to leave a lot of people decimated because they don't understand what's going on. If you've ever watched the show The Wire, wonderful show, loved it. It was gritty, it was real, it was good. The writer of that show, David Simon, was a crime beat reporter up in Baltimore. I like this guy. He gives great interviews, and during one of his interviews, he said something that if you were not paying attention, if you were listening with your jackass mindset or your mid-management mindset, what he said would have been patently offensive. He said, we have a certain segment of society that we don't need. And it's true. We have a large percentage of people in this country. Well, I can't say large. We have many that we don't need because they do not contribute to the world. They suck resources from the world. And I'm not talking about your grandma Jenny May, who did 60 years of this on Social Security. I'm not talking about her. I am talking about that young kid or that young girl, 23 to 30, that is living at home with mom and dad and feels entitled to vacations from not working. That's some bullshit. You haven't worked in 2 years and you feel that you deserve a vacation. Your ass has been on vacation for 2 years. Why the fuck do you need to go on vacation from vacation? Essentially, you want to do what you want to do. Let's just call a blue dog a blue dog. But we have these people that are just here. They are not really contributing to society. They are really not benefiting us. And when you hit ninja level, and even at jackass level and mid-management level of hustling, they're still benefiting society because they're producing something. They're putting things in actions. They're solving problems. They're helping people. They're on the producer side. They're definitely on the producer side versus just the consumer side. But you got to contribute to the world. You need to be doing something that can benefit as many people as possible, because the more people that you benefit, the more money that you will make. And many, many people miss that. They say stupid shit like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire, with little regard to how, why, and where, what you could do for people that help you achieve those goals, because it's a purely narcissistic statement that usually doesn't realize in the real world, because it's based on flawed thinking. Totally flawed thinking. But to make that journey from jackass level of hustling, mid-management level of hustling, you got to start looking at your hustling as a real and viable thing. That's why I say don't use the term side money. Side money is like side chick. There's your main thing, and then there's this dessert thing. What did I say earlier in this podcast? You are putting ceilings and limits on your income by using those words. Like, well, hey, Glendon, I made $30,000 side money last year. Well, if you had taken that side money off, you may have made 60. I know I have your attention now because you're like, ooh, 60. Oh my. Shit, I could get a side chick with $60,000 more money in my vertical income stack. Psh! Oh, baby, I didn't know you were here. But seriously, you have to really open your mind to get people to open up their wallets, because that's what it's about. But get out of that jackass level, get out of the mid-management level. You want to be a ninja level hustler. Now let's talk about the ninja level hustler. You can sell a lot of different things. I'm not going to give you that, he is so smooth or she's so smooth they could sell iced Eskimos. That's not selling. That's bullshitting someone. You're telling the Eskimo that it's a heat rock. Well, see, when you put it in your pocket, it's going to heat up, which technically is not a lie. It's going to heat up and it's going to melt. That's not true hustling. That's manipulation. True hustling is this. You have something that someone wants and you sell it to them, and when you both leave the transaction, everyone is truly happy. The dude that bought the ice cold heat pack that melted in his pocket, he's not happy. He's not happy because he was bamboozled, and he'll never buy anything else from you again. He, in fact, may go out and recruit other Eskimos to come stab you in your fish eye with a fish hook. Because Eskimos are like that. They don't take that shit lightly. You fuck with one Eskimo, you're fucking with all of them. And it could be pretty ugly because they know that ice better than you do, player. But with this level of increasing your hustling, you have to put it into practice. You have to have enough courage to claim what you do. When I tell people that I'm a writer, I say it like, yes, I've written books. There's a certain level of pride. Because I've claimed that because it's me. If you don't claim your hustling, you're treating it like a bastard stepchild, as something that should be hidden up in the spare bedroom with the door locked. You don't want company to know that your hustle's up there because you're ashamed of your hustle. Like your hustle has a hump and shit. Like your hustle is Quasimodo, the hunchback of Notre Dame, walking around. They don't understand me. I'm a good hustle. I'm a good hustle. Click. I'm a locked up hustle. Fuck. But seriously, you have to claim your hustle. You need to be proud of it. You need to get a good feeling of it, because how you feel on the inside is going to radiate to the outside. When you feel good about yourself, when you approach someone that like, hey, this is Glendon, I got this thing for you. It's going to fulfill your needs. You're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. We're going to work this deal out. And that's how I built up a lot of repeat business. That's another part of the ninja thing. The ninja hustler has repeat business. This one-off stuff is a treadmill, a perpetual treadmill to mediocrity. You go to garage sales, you buy something, you sell something. You go to garage sales, you buy something, you sell something. You go to estate sales, you buy something, you sell something. At some point, you're going to have to figure out how to create your own product, move up to a higher income product, learn how to manage a business and have employees, because I go to a garage sale and get some stuff and go to an estate sale and get some stuff. You can only go so far doing that. Why? When do most garage sales happen? The weekends. So essentially, if you have not escalated your hustling game, you're going to go to some garage sales and you're going to go to some thrift stores. You and several thousand people are out there doing the same thing. And you're going to have some hits here and you're going to have some hits there. But I have yet to meet, I've heard stories, like Bigfoot, and the Yeti up in the snow mountains. You hear about it, that, some guy went to a garage sale and got a painting or a bowl or this thing, and it went to this high-end auction and made millions of dollars. It happens. It does. I'm not going to piss on that. I want to piss on it, but I'm not going to piss on it because it does happen. But I personally know several people that have bought storage units that have netted them $20, $30, $40, $50,000 profits. That is more likely and consistent than you going to a garage sale and finding the next copy, hidden, unknown copy of the Declaration of Independence behind some painting. You have to do what's plausible. I'm not saying don't go to garage sales. I'm saying go to the garage sales. I'm saying go to the thrift stores. I'm also saying put something else in your revenue income vector. Something that makes you money when you are asleep. Your time is your most valuable resource. If you are, go to a garage sale, go to an estate sale, sell some stuff, go to a garage sale, go to an estate sale and sell some stuff, go to a garage, and that's your loop, that's a very tight circle, and inside that circle is your profit. As long as that circle stays tight, your profits really are not going to change that much month to month, year to year. And that's another thing about the ninja level hustler. You have data that is like, well, last January 2012, I made $40,000. Here it is, January 2014, I made $55,000. That's called progress. Every company looks at year-to-year sales, month-to-month sales. They look at the data and they go back. Because if you are not selling more a year later, some bad things have happened. The only way that makes sense and looks good on a balance sheet if you've reduced cost. You reduce cost by 30%, but you manage to keep the same level of sales. That's profit. That's a beautiful thing. But if your costs have gone up and your sales are the same, you've actually lost money. True hustlers are really good with numbers because you have to be. Numbers are essential to hustling. They are essential. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know where you stand, it's very easy for someone to knock you over. But as we move forward in this podcast, there'll be more tricks, tips, and whatever to get you from jackass level of hustling and mid-management hustling, at least to the ninja level of hustling. Because, my friends, you reach ninja, your life will change. Your confidence will go up, and you start to contribute to the world on a greater and broader level. And that is a beautiful thing. All right, this is Glendon. This is the Hustler. This is Hustleology. That's what this is. This is Hustleology. You're going to get a new vocabulary listening to this podcast. There's all kinds of stuff that's coming. So with that, I'm going to say, hey, you have a great day. Go out and make some money. Thank you for your time. And I will see you in the next episode. If you really want to be a true hustler, go ahead and check out my course, The Hustler's Mindset Project. Pimping Your Mind for Success. It's something that's totally different. It's a personal development program with an income component. We're going to teach you how to make you better, and then once you make you better, we're going to teach you how to make more money. Now that is really a beautiful thing.